Right.
So I do that intro after. Welcome to another edition of Talk the Talk, Rio Grande Valley Stars. I'm Sarabia, your host, along with my co-host Isaac Medina. And today we are honored to have a very talented individual from the Valley. She's an actress, a singer. She does a little bit of everything. Yeah. A fashion expert.
Yes, sir.
And we're honored to have her here today, taking time off her very busy schedule to talk to you all, inspire you, motivate you, and so that you can learn a little bit more about her background, her obstacles, achievements, and also future goals. Her name is Magali.
Yes. Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe what city you're from? Anything that you want to tell us about your background?
Yes, I was born and raised in Florida, Texas, and I'm a Valley girl, very proud Valley girl. And I grew up in a musical home. I've done music ever since I was a little kid, a singer. And then as I got older, I transitioned into acting and then doing both at the same time. I'm also a fashion designer. I have a degree in fashion, so it's a mother. I'm a mother too. A little bit of everything.
How many kids? Married?
I'm not married. I'm a single mother, and I have a daughter, and she just turned 6.
You can say hi to her.
Hi, baby. I love you.
So you're very busy and you wear lots of hats.
Yes, sir. Very, very busy.
So tell us how you got started in your career.
Well, it all started in the home. My father was a bass player in a Tejano band called Grupo Fuego from Brownsville. And so my sister and I have one sister, we grew up with the Tejano, those Tejano roots in our family. We listened to my dad on a daily basis. He would play the guitar. He's a composer, he's a writer. And I think what a lot of people don't know is even now that I'm older, he has written and composed the majority of my music, of my songs.
So the talent runs in the family,
yes.
The artistic talent.
So he was my first inspiration, and he's been my guide ever since. Then I was in choir, I would sing at church, and then I got into drama in high school, and that really gave me the confidence to say, I can do this in the real world. I can really try to make a career of this, and I've been trying to do so ever since.
That's great, very good. And I know you mentioned Tejano music, so was Selena an inspiration for you?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Selena was a huge inspiration to me. So that some of the people that don't know are watching, when I was little, they did a tribute to Selena and they asked me to sing No Me Queda Más. It was the first time as a little girl that I sang in front of a huge crowd. They had the radio stations there, they had the TV stations there, and I sang No Me Queda Más, and it was in that moment I said, this is what I want to do forever.
Would you mind singing a little bit of the song?
No me queda más. Si tu regreso hoy sería una imposibilidad, y esto que no era amor.
And I can see like a resemblance to Selena.
Yes.
So is she also like maybe an inspiration when it comes to the way you dress, the way you
Absolutely.
look?
I think she's an inspiration to a lot of girls, and I hope to be that inspiration as well. I do see it even with my daughter and like with my younger cousins. They want to listen to my music and they want to kind of dress like me, and I like that. I love that. Like it makes me feel like I'm doing something important and that I'm going in the right direction. So she is a big influence, and so many other artists too, like Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Christina Aguilera, like all those very powerful vocalists.
Yes, they're very powerful. So is that you relate to those powerful singers because you can sing so powerful?
Yes, I definitely, that is for me the focal point of my music, is that it's all in a very high range, and I love to sing ballads. It's the best thing I think I can do. So I identify with them because of their vocalists.
Any favorite songs?
So many. Definitely from Mariah Carey. I listen to her when I'm getting dressed or when I'm getting ready for a show. She's who I warm up to. So a lot of Mariah Carey, a lot of Whitney Houston. I have like my little method when I'm getting ready for my show and things like that. So I don't necessarily warm up to like, it's funny, like the Tejano music or like to cumbia music. I go for those like very kind of hard songs to get that voice really open and exercise for these performances.
And when it comes to singing, do you prefer English, Spanish, about the same?
About the same, definitely both. So I have 2 albums in Spanish and 1 on the way with my record company. Those are the 2, Esta Vez y Amor Barato. And my new album that's going to be coming out is going to be dropping in March. We don't have the name for it yet, guys. But when I do, I'll let you know. We'll give you guys an exclusive. It drops in March, and that's with my record company, Supla Records from San Antonio, and that is owned by Michael Salgado. Wow. And he signed me in May. And
he's a big guy when it comes to this industry. Yes,
he's a 2-time Grammy Award winner. He's, you know, he's just a wonderful artist and a wonderful person. So I'm happy to be a part of Supla Records and his team, and ever since then, we've just been really making a lot of strides in the music.
So and where can people buy the CDs?
My music, all the music that I have is available for digital download everywhere. iTunes, you know, Spotify, Google Play, and then I have a lot of music videos, a lot of music content on my YouTube channel, and we just dropped a new one. It's called Mira Lo Que Has Hecho, and it's doing very well. We just dropped it a few days ago, and I think it's like at 14,000 already.
So what's the name of your YouTube channel?
It's just Magali Delarosa. You can find me everywhere with just my name.
There you go.
My little poster.
So this is the poster for that.
Yes,
that is a great picture, by the way.
Thank you. Very exciting.
And what do you think is your favorite part of what you do? Is it the singing, the acting, the fashion? If you have to choose one or rank them, how would you go about it?
Definitely the music is always #1. But interesting enough, because I'm a singer and because I'm a performer and because I have to take pictures and there's just so much that comes with that, the fashion naturally gets attached with that. So they're kind of like a 2-in-1. Yeah. And then when you do your music videos, you have to act, you know. So it's kind of like all mixed into one. But definitely the music has always been the #1 for me, my source of love and passion.
So your degree is in fashion.
Yes. Fashion design.
Fashion design. So why did you go that route? Was it to complement because you already had the singing versus?
Okay, so this is the story, guys. So my background and my family, they believe very much in education is very important. They knew that that I had these goals to be a singer, and of course my dad was a musician, so he understood these things, but he said, just do us a favor, get a degree in something, you know, have a backup, right? Because then later on, if you decide not to do music, not that it wouldn't work out, you can have another income, you can have a business that you can build. And so I went to California, I went to an art school, got an associate's degree as fast as I could, guys. As fast as I could. I did that, I got that, and then I said, okay, I'm ready. You guys said you were gonna support me and be in this with me, and ever since they have. They kept good on their promise. And so, but it was good because now I have this fashion degree. I have my own clothing line. I sell a few of my products online now. So it's all been growing just together. And you know, I made that blouse, I made this blouse. So I use a lot of the performance outfits and a lot of the things that you see in my pictures and in movies and in my videos, I've made them myself.
Wow, that's really nice because everything complements each other.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Yes.
So you're very talented because you do everything. That's amazing.
And on the fashion side, I get that because my grandmother on my dad's side was a seamstress. She was a seamstress and she was a tailor, so naturally I was inspired by that as well. So very artistic home.
Many artistic people.
So, yes, and speaking about family, how important have they been in your life? I mean, supporting your career?
I couldn't do it without them. There is no career without my family support. They are my everything. Every single person in my family, even my distant cousins, they are all extremely supportive. Starting with my parents, my mother, she's my rock. Even today, I'm like, how does this outfit look? How does this hair look? I always go through my mom to kind of give me the once-over, you know? She'll always give me that approval. My sister will be there if something isn't going right. I'm like, I have to call her and I'm like, this and this happened, and she'll give me that push, that inspiration, like, you can do this, get focused again, that kind of thing. And my dad, well, he's just does everything. He, from the music to getting my band together, he's my investor. Essentially, he's been my manager since I was a little girl. So my family is a huge part. And then, of course, I do so much of this, if not all of it, now for my daughter. So that she can have a legacy, so that she can say, Mommy can do this, I can do this too, or in whatever it is she wants to do.
Serving as a role model too.
Yes, and so when I had her, I said, even more, I stepped on the gas and I really have to make this work because I have this beautiful child I have to take care of.
Children can be a big motivation.
Oh yes, and she has been.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
And any obstacles that you had along the way in this career? And if so, which ones?
Yes, definitely. I think when I started out in my career, when I was, much younger, you go through those criticisms, especially being a Latina woman, or being a woman, period, I would go to auditions for movies, and if the casting call was for Latina, and then I get there and they're like, well, you're not blonde enough, or you're not light-skinned enough, or you're not this enough, or you're not that enough. And so that was kind of, I think, very difficult to hear. Well, what is it that you're looking for, Those kinds of things, or investing time into projects with people that would make promises, and then it doesn't happen, and we wasted all this time. So then I had to start getting a little bit smarter. What I want the viewers to take away maybe from this interview is that if you want to be a singer, or you want to be a dancer, you want to be an actor, it's not just the act of acting, the act of being a singer. You have to invest in yourself, and you have to get business savvy. You have to learn the business, because essentially you are your own business, you're your own brand. And I think that that's very important.
How does someone learn the business?
Well, and for me, it was just trial and error. Learning what not to do from the experiences that I've had. But now there's so many great tools online. There's so many YouTube videos. There's so many motivators, that you can look and you can research. And even if you just read people's backstories, if you take a singer and you love her, and you read the backstory, you're always going to find those things that happen to them that maybe won't happen to you if you know what I mean? Just research, a lot of research.
Has the social media been important to you when it comes to maybe getting more followers, so that people can learn about you and your career?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think social media nowadays is just like everything. All my content is online, and every day I get a little bit more, love from my fans and more followers, and it's just the fastest way to say my singles out, my videos out, and all that stuff.
Where can people find you on social media?
Everywhere on social media, it's just Magali Delarosa, my first and last name, MagaliDelarosa.com. It's for all the search engines, for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, everything. It's just my first and last name.
So expect a few friend requests.
Yeah, that would be fabulous. I welcome it. Thank you.
And we actually met last year because I was invited by a friend to a movie as an extra, and you were the protagonist of the movie. So how did the acting career begin? Because you started with music first,
I
right?
did, yes.
As a child, and your degree was in fashion. So how did the acting come about?
Well, I hadn't done it for a long time, to be honest, but I had, the opportunity I had a little bit of a break after my last album to kind of feel things out, kind of maybe try something different. And online I had seen at Light Films they were doing, which is the film that we were a part of, they were doing a casting call for a horror film. So I submitted my tape. It was a few months before they actually started filming Fist of Justice. And they liked me, they called me in, but then I didn't get the part for the lead in that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And so then they called me, they're like, we're doing a movie, and we want you to audition. And I said, okay, so I auditioned and I got the lead role for the female. And I said, oh, this is so great. So then after that, because I met, Max and the publicist for the movie, then recently they gave me the opportunity to come out in the AMCO commercials as the lead actress. So now I'm going to be doing the series of those commercials, and then I had another director reach out for a movie role as well, for a scary film. So we'll see how that goes. So it kind of happened like, I tried it to see if it would go anywhere, and now it really actually has been.
So what's been some of your biggest achievements?
Definitely this year, I performed at the Tejano Music Awards for the first time.
Wow, that's huge.
For me, it was like, I cried after my performance because I was so, I couldn't believe it, It was something I've always wanted to do as a little girl, and as you know, like Selena and like all these wonderful Tejano artists, that's just what it is, It's like amazing opportunity. And and I got to sing 2 songs, not just one, I got to do 2, debut 2 songs. Amor Gigante and Mira Lo Que Has Hecho, which is the single we have now. And actually, Amor Gigante dropped yesterday on Valentine's Day, so now you guys can find that. So we're dropping like all these little songs, but the full album comes out in March. And so for me, that was one of my biggest accomplishments. And then I have some performances in March for Fanfare in San Antonio, and those are very important too. One is for Univision, that's a big show we're doing, and then on the 17th of March I'll be performing again in Market Square, opening up for Michael Salgado, so there's going to be a pretty big crowd. And so for me, the accomplishments have really been performing with my band. So
could you sing a little bit about this song?
Yes. Yes. Yo te di toda mi vida, yo te di todo mi amor, yo te di todo lo mío, yo te di mi corazón, yo te di mi corazón. De repente tú te fuiste, de repente no te vi, de repente me dejaste y la tristeza vino a mí, y la tristeza vino a mí.
I like it. Buy the CDs or download them.
Wow. So what advice would you give to some of our viewers that are looking to pursue a career in acting, fashion design, or singing?
Definitely my main thing that I always tell everybody is you need to have a lot of focus. You need to focus on the task at hand, you need to focus on yourself, you need to invest in yourself, you need to love yourself. If you're going to do a career like music and acting, you need to put yourself first, you know, do the best that you can do, learn the best, you know, way you can, you know, if you have a problem, for instance, if you don't know how to do something, go to the root of the problem and fix that problem so that everything else can fall into place. I always also live by this one piece of advice that my mom has given me ever since I was a little girl, and it's do the best you can do, but don't try to be better than anybody, you know? And I've always lived by that. Do the best you can do, focus on yourself, you know, don't worry about what everybody else is doing, you focus on yourself and you take that drive all the way as far as you can take it.
And I think that's great advice, because oftentimes in any career, people compare themselves to others.
Yes, they do, and that's not good.
And your only competition should be yourself.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's the best advice I can give. And also just don't give up. I have been through so much since I started doing this career. So many projects that I wish had happened, so many mistakes I feel like I made because I just didn't know any better. But I just kept going and going and going and going. And I don't ever think I had a moment where like, I'm not going to do this, I can't do this. No, because I always believed that it would go somewhere. And finally this year, I'm starting to see the career really blossom. So that's my advice. Don't give up, focus on yourself, and don't compare yourself to others.
And I'm sure the career also requires a lot of sacrifices from your personal time.
Yes, absolutely. So nowadays, I really only have time to focus on all the music and the acting stuff, and then my daughter too. And those are like my career and daughter. Outside of that, I don't have a life right now. But that's okay.
You love what you do.
But I love what I do, and that's great. That's an okay sacrifice.
Awesome, that's right. Following your passion, living your dream, and being able to support, you know, your daughter.
Being a role model to
her and many people.
And what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years? Do you want to be well known like throughout the United States and beyond? As a singer, as an actress? How do you see it?
I definitely would love to see myself on the big screen someday, in a big movie. I would love to do a world tour. That would be, amazing. I would also like to have my own company, my own fashion company, apparel company. I don't know what yet. I don't know if it's going to be men, women, or I love doing kids fashion as well, because obviously I have a daughter. But I do see this, in 5 years I would like to be just much bigger. Where I am now, but like on a bigger scale.
Wow, so I mean, you mentioned all three, singing, acting, and then fashion. I mean, is there one that kind of leads the way for you? Or?
Well, and it's like I said, I think that the music is really driving the train, and everything else is just kind of attached to that, so.
And you see that a lot, I mean, like for example, Jennifer Lopez,
yes,
you know, started off as a dancer.
Our friend J.A.R.
J.A.R.
Yes.
and started living college.
She's coming to the Valley right now.
Yes, she
is.
is. I want to see her perform.
There you go.
I love Jennifer Lopez. She is a huge inspiration to me as well. Like, if not one of the biggest.
Maybe you can meet her in the summer.
Yeah,
Picture her.
maybe we can interview her.
That would be amazing.
That would be great. So, anyhow, yeah, I mean, just like J.Lo started off, she went into the dancing and singing and then now acting, so she's all over the place. So you'll see that a lot, that just kind of mingle together.
And I feel like she was one of the first women, and especially Latina woman, to do that at the time. She had a #1 movie at the box office and a #1 song at the same time.
I think
She's tied into Selena.
Yes, and she was such a great actress in that movie. So when I was younger, I saw her too, and I'm like, well, she's singing, she's acting, she's dancing. I want to do that too. Oh, she was a huge inspiration as well.
And do you see yourself living in the Valley even when you're more well known, or like going to Hollywood, or you want to live here?
No, I want to be here because, I lived in California for a few years and I really liked it, and I love my friends out there. Hi guys. I really loved it, but I never dreamed of having a child and not having her with her grandparents and with the rest of my family, and so that was really the deciding factor, and then once I was here and I saw her with her little cousins and I got to be around my parents and my grandmother and all of that stuff, again, I had missed all of that. So I don't really see myself going anywhere. Maybe, and because I travel a lot for work too, so, it's nice to be home.
And when it comes to your career, do you have to exercise and eat healthy, or are you required to do so?
Dieting?
Yes, I do. I'm at the gym a lot.
So this is not helping this view.
This is making me suffer.
So we're at the J.A.R. McAllen, and they've got a bar in the middle and food trucks all around. They got tacos, doña tota, pizza, barbecue.
Everything.
So this is not a good place to start a diet.
No, it's not. You guys are cruel. No, I do. I have to pride myself. I have, what I like here and there, but just in moderation, because I have to be fit for my shows. It's a very long set. All the songs pretty much are they're very fast, and so.
And you're dancing, right?
I dance and sing at the same time.
That's
I dance
tough.
a lot. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I also have a background in dance, so I'm dancing, turning, dancing, doing all kinds of things. You have to have the energy for that. You have to be, kind of fit for that. So you will see, and I know you have seen probably videos of me at the gym and dancing and working out, and that's where I go practice my set.
So tell us a little bit about your diet. So my background is on nutrition, exercise.
Awesome.
So tell me, how many times a day do you eat?
Well, I definitely eat 3 times a day, but what I don't eat, and I have to cut it out, is my sugar intake. That's very bad because I have a sweet tooth. I'm bad. Before I am diet, I could get up and eat pan dulce and a coffee with milk and sugar and all that. And sometimes that's wonderful, but like I said, when you're trying to be in shape for these shows and your photo shoots and all that, you can't do that. But for me, I just I watch my intake, I watch my carbs, not a lot of French fries, not a lot of bread, that kind of thing. And I have to scale back on the sugar. And I don't drink soda. I drink a lot of water.
Oh, that's good.
Like that. I don't really drink. I don't do any of that stuff. So I think that also contributes to somebody's diet, their physique, and their energy.
Absolutely. And what about exercise? How many times a week do you train? Is that something you regularly follow, or you just exercise whenever you get ready for a show?
No, it's something I try to do the majority of the time, more when I'm doing the show. But this past week, I was at the gym pretty much every day except for today, and probably not tomorrow. And I'll go and I'll do a little cardio, and then when I'm done with all this stuff I don't like to do, guys, because I don't like to work out, okay? Then I do the fun stuff. I turn on the music and I go through my whole set, probably twice, and it's a 45-minute set.
And dancing itself is a good workout.
Yes, and singing and dancing at the same time. So I'm sorry to the people at both gym because they're probably annoyed with me at this point. But I do what I have to do.
Do you go to the roller room and dance?
I do.
Oh.
So a lot of
How do you go so you can go and just hey, I got it.
There's not a whole lot of people there all the time, but every once in a while someone will walk in and I'm in the middle of doing one of my things and I use the water bottle as my microphone. So I have my headphones on, I'm singing and dancing, and they'll probably think I'm weird, but it's the best place to practice for me. Open, acoustics, all that.
Awesome.
And when it comes to social media, again, has it been just all support 100%? have you had a few haters, or how have you handled the criticism and negative comments?
Yes. I will say this, and it's funny because I was just having a conversation about this with my manager and with my dad, and the majority of the people have been amazing. The majority of the people, you know, they will send me messages like, God bless you, and you're an inspiration, and keep going, and we love your music, just the sweetest things.
Very supportive.
But very supportive, and thank you to my fans. Just real quick, I love you guys. You guys are always so sweet to me. Once in a while, you will get somebody who's like, oh, you know,
haters.
Haters.
Do you block right away?
I don't. I leave it there.
Okay.
I mean,
but you don't respond either.
I don't respond. You know, I can't give my energy. I think it's all about energy, and I don't want to give that negative energy back. But I do leave it there. It doesn't really bother me. I don't go deleting everything, so other people can see that. You know what I mean? And
is it more about the physical appearance or like the talent that you think
both. I feel like a lot of the criticism has come with, oh, she's trying to be so much like this person, or she's this person, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And nothing really ugly. Just, you know, I think people just have a preference sometimes. You know.
Yeah, I think you're always gonna have haters regardless of what.
Successful people tend to have lots of lovers and supporters, but a few haters.
Yeah.
And not everybody's gonna like you, and that's fine, you know. But I do have, you know, my supporters and my fans, and they love me, and I think that triumphs over, you know, trumps everything else out. So.
Awesome. So do you have any future goals? What do you see yourself in the next couple of years, maybe 5?
Well, for right now, my major goal is to perform as many places as I can. And so here recently, my record label has been booking me on all these shows. So I'm going to be booked up from here until, I think they even booked a show for October already. So for me, those are my near goals, that we're going to be performing to all these crowds and sharing the music and sharing all the content. Because for me, this album that's coming out is very, very special. There isn't one song on there that everyone's like, well, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite? And I'm like, I can't pick a favorite because I love them all. And I think that's the point. I want people to listen, and I want to be able to do for people what artists have done for me. You know, everybody has their struggles. They go through their situations, their daily things. But then for me, I can flip on a song and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. You know, I'm going to be okay. This is going to be okay. And it takes me to a place, a happy place, or to a memory. And now,
we got a producer here at the sign.
I love that, and I want to be able to do that for some people. You know, if they hear a song that they like and it maybe for a minute distracts them from what they're going through or whatever. If I'm doing even a little bit of that, I'm doing my job.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
So is there a closing remark you would like to address to our viewers?
Oh, just thank you all for watching, and I want to just thank my record label, my fans, my friends, and my fans for all your support, and for you guys for having me. It's been an awesome interview. I've had so much fun. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. And just to follow me on my social media outlets at Magali Delarosa. Please look for my new single, Mira Lo Que Has Hecho, the one I dropped yesterday, Amor Gigante, and I will be in San Antonio the 15th, the 17th, and I'm also doing a performance at the rodeo this year. Wow. So I'm very excited. March 10th, Houston, guys, at the Hideout. So, yes, thank you very much. And I love you guys. Mwah.
And thank you, Magali Delarosa. I know you're very busy, so it means a lot to us that you're here, taking time off your busy schedule. And we both wish you the best of luck in your future career.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Talk the Talk, Rio Grande Valley Stars.
See you guys. Bye.
Mwah.